All right. Good evening and good night, and welcome to the It's Your Perspective Talk Show. It is Tuesday, August 30th, 2016. It's about 8:15 p.m. My name is David, a.k.a. Kimber, a.k.a. Christian, alongside.
Soup?
Yeah, Soup, we back?
Yes, I.
Yeah, I just want to say real quick, man, this is the It's Your Perspective Talk Show every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We have a telephone number, 340-201-9005. You can also text us on that number as well. Most importantly, though, you have to go to our website, streaming live from the vi.com. Go to that website, click on the tab that says Watch Us Live, and you'll see the show tonight because we do have some special returning guests in the studio tonight. Our guests know that we are in a high-tech, low-tech studio coming to you from an undisclosed location here in St. Croix, Virgin Islands. No radio or TV, internet only. So get your iOS, your Android, your iPad, your Mac, your Windows, your Linux computer. Open up your browser, type in streaming live from the vi.com. Check out the show tonight. 2 Facebook pages. Want to give a quick shout out to CHS class of 1982. Most importantly, we want to give a quick shout out to all our past guests. Thanks for being on the show tonight. What else we got? Show's mission is just to inform, entertain, and empower everyone.
Yes, sir.
I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors: Maggie's Party Decor, Out of Touch Boutique and Sunny Isle Shopping Center, and Supersonic Computer Services. Check out our website for all the contact information there. And real quick too, if you can't watch the show tonight, we are simulcasting the show tonight on our radio station, streaming live from the vi.com radio. Download the app from the iOS store, Google Play, or check it out via the TuneIn radio app. Just search for streaming live from the vi.com radio. You'll be able to hear the show tonight. But you want to watch the show, so go to the website so you can see our guests in the studio tonight. And Soup, you ready?
Yes, I.
Bless that mic, man.
All praises be to the Creator. Excuse me. Let a man cease from his sinful thoughts, and all the world will soften toward him, and be ready to help him. Let him put away his weakly and sickly thoughts, and lo, opportunities will spring up on every hand to aid his strong resolves. Let him encourage good thoughts, and no hard fate shall bind him down to wretchedness and shame. The world is your kaleidoscope, and the varying combination of colors which at every succeeding moment it presents to you are the exquisitely adjusted pictures of your ever-moving thoughts. You will be what you will to be. Let failure find its false content. In that poor word environment, but spirit scorns it and is free. It masters time, it conquers space. It calls that boastful trickster's chance, and bids the tyrant circumstance, and crown and fill a servant's place. The human will, that force unseen, the offspring of a deathless soul, can hew a way to any goal through walls of granite intervene. Be not impatient in delay, but wait as one who overstands. When spirit rise and commands, the angels are ready to obey. Yes, I.
Yes, I, Soup. Thanks for blessing us again, man. Soup's been blessing us since April of 2014. So as promised, we do have some guests in the studio tonight. We have Shalima Edwards, Feli, there they are right there. Welcome to the studio. And on the line, we have Tarik. Tarik, are you there? Tarik. Tarik, are you there? Hello? Tarik? Maybe we lost him. Tarik, call back. Tarik, if you're listening, give us a call back to the show here real quick. We did have him on here. We lost him somehow in the waiting period there. But thanks for coming on the show again tonight, guys. We got Shalima Edwards and Feli. This is the Umoja. Is that how you pronounce that? Okay, here he's
That's
calling
correct.
again. Let me make sure I get this coming in here real quick. Stand by 1 second. Tarik, can you hear me?
Tarik?
Tarik, can you hear me?
Hello?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear it. It kind of fuzzy, but I can hear it a little bit.
Okay. All right. Let me give you a little bit more volume there. Okay, man. So Tarik is in the studio tonight. We do have a picture of him. We'll bring him up on the screen there. There he is right there. But let's get back to our guest tonight, Shalima and Fila in the studio. So welcome back, guys. This is the Umoja Caribbean Union. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes.
Okay, man.
That's
Welcome.
correct.
So tell us a little bit about this.
Okay, sure. Umoja Caribbean Union, Inc. is a newly formed labor union here in St. Croix, and it was incorporated on January 23rd, 2016. Before I go into detail, I just want to thank you all first for allowing us to be here this evening, and I'll also give thanks to the Creator for having us here as well.
Yes, sir.
So definitely with the blessings, thank you, Soup, for sharing that as well. I have to say that with a T-shirt that feel I have on, "Do My People Do," comes to my mind as a result of David Hamilton Jackson, who's one of our ancestors.
Right.
And just like him and others who have paved the way, they have done what they had to do, and now it's up to us who are here in this physical living that we need to continue on building what they have left. So I just want to also recognize our ancestors. So Umoja Caribbean Union, as I said, was formed January 23rd, 2016, and I'd like to recognize the founders of this newly formed union, and they are Cherise Bascom, Robert Moorhead, Julianne Vieira, Tarik McMillan, and myself, Shalima Edwards. And currently, as far as officers, I am the president. Cherise Bascom is the secretary. Julianne Vieira is the treasurer. And Tarik, in which you'll hear in a moment, he is our appointed director of our departments, which is labor, agriculture, and education. And Fila is a member also of Umoja Caribbean Union, Inc. The purpose of Umoja Caribbean Union, Inc. is to empower the people of the Virgin Islands and the Caribbean, home and abroad, through Afrocentric educational, economical, and agricultural means by creating a system of human equality with the governing principles of 1, know yourself for your greatest harmonious potential, 2, love, 3, balance, 4, harmony, 5, order, 6, truth, 7, righteousness, 8, justice, 9, reciprocity, and 10, freedom. To highlight what our objects are, it is to establish or incorporate by itself or with others educational, economical, and agricultural programs, to establish real estate division, to acquire land and sublet it out with a view that the members shall eventually be the owners in fee simple, except, however, that the land so acquired shall not be disposed of unless and until this corporation has given its consent as to the standing of the purchaser, to acquire and dispose of properties in town, country, and other location, to render assistance in sickness and other distresses, to secure legislation in the interest of the members, to establish or incorporate by itself or with others credit unions, banks, or financial institutions, to include insurance companies, and to enter into agreements in the best interest of the members. And I'll say the foundation of this union really came from St.Croix Labor Union. As mentioned previously, David Hamilton Jackson, he was one of the founders and president of St.Croix Labor Union. And again, to build on what they have left for us, we felt that it was very important to start our foundation with that.
So right now, how much members you got going on right now in the union?
Well, since we started, and I must say that we ratified our bylaws July 3rd, and we came out as far as making a public announcement on August 17th.
Oh, okay.
So we have about 7 members right now.
Building strong.
Right. So although we are on the ground as grassroots as can be.
Right.
So we definitely are looking forward in having more members come on board, especially when they begin to learn more about what this union is all about, and hope that they will realize that the skills, the gifts that they have can definitely help grow this union.
Okay. You feel like what's your part in this union?
Well, I think it's what we're doing is in the best interest of the people of the Virgin Islands, and my part is just as good as your part. You know, when you opened up earlier, you mentioned of a thought, and we as a people, we don't know how to think. We've been trained to think. We don't think for ourselves, and unionism is a simple philosophy. It's just taking the natural resources, which is the people, and we have an island with a lot of natural resources, but there's no connection between the people and the natural resources. Plus, we as people, what we do is we work for money, and we never put our money back to work for us. When you go towards unionism, that's what you do. And it is not something that I am making up. This was already proven from 1915, D. Hamilton Jackson. So my main purpose is to assist the union in getting the message across to the people as to how important it is to collectively put our monies and our resources together to put it to work for us.
Yes, sir. Tarik, you still there?
Yeah, hello?
Hi, Tarik. How are you? Tarik,
Hello?
you hearing us?
I could hear Shalima. I feel like a lot clearer than I can hear you.
How about that now?
Yeah, that's a little better.
Okay. How are you doing tonight?
All right.
Okay. And what's your what you want to see what do you want to see Umoja deliver to the people? What's your philosophy? What's your view for your Joma? For you Umoja? What's your view for the union?
Well, my whole viewpoint, my whole hope for this union is to make things better for people in the Virgin Islands. I don't think I could elaborate more on that. It's just really to help people out and make life easier. Is that-
To make life easier for us here in the Virgin Islands. Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
You may want to hang up and call back, Tarik.
Yeah, your connection is not good, man. Can you hang up and call right back?
Yeah.
Okay. You have us on a speaker on your side?
He didn't hear us.
So Shalima, real quick, as we wait for that call to come back in. So you spoke at UCA back on August 17th. So was this like the official announcement of Umoja?
Yes, correct.
That's
It
Marcus
was your.
Garvey birthday
Oh,
too.
definitely.
Yes, sir.
And I would say it was by divine order
Yes,
that we
sir. Yes,
announced
sir.
it.
On that day.
Yes, yes. And we did play a recording of a compilation of his speeches, and it was powerful. I think it was
Yes.
powerful in the sense that, and I think one of the emphasis he actually spoke of is about nature, and we are of nature. And when we begin to realize that we are connected to nature, we definitely can see why we have to grow and not just stay in a confinement, as I would call it, a box-like mentality, but to get out of that box-like mentality and see nature because it's right there for us. And when you see things that is injustice, then which is of unjust, then you would realize that this is not natural. This is not how it should be, and you will feel a natural feel a natural vibration to do something about it.
Right.
So again, it was a powerful day for us to introduce ourselves. And I do want to thank the family of Yuka's Kitchen, for allowing us to be there. Yuka has been in our community for so many years,
Yes.
you know, so it was also fitting to have it done there.
And talk a little bit more about the union itself. I mean, as Super was saying that he couldn't join because he's a manager at his job, but you know, I don't work for the government, so can I join?
Well, I will say that the unique thing about this union is you don't have to be in a bargaining unit to be a member of this union. You can be a member, we call it as a general member. Okay, you just won't be represented as a bargaining unit member. Say that you are employed in a particular, you know, with a particular employer, and the union is your representative for that unit. You could be a member of the union as a general member. So even though if you are a manager or you are not employed with the government, you could be self-employed. You could be a farmer. You could be a student. As long as you're 18 years old and older, you can join the union.
Okay. So I see here it says to render assistance in sickness and other distress. So these are the kind of things that you'd be able to help us with as members of the union?
Yes, and collectively that is what we hope to accomplish. So I will just I think Tarik is calling.
Yep, we'll see
Okay.
here. Tarik?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah. Is that better?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Okay, all right. So Shalima was just talking. So just hold on and we'll bring you back in the conversation in a few minutes here.
Right.
Right.
Actually, I was mentioning you, Tarik, in which, being that he's the director of the departments, he will share with the listening audience, viewing audience, the different committees that fall under the department. So at least you will understand where you as an individual can actually help this union to complete the objects that we have in the union.
Tarik?
Yeah, so under the Department of Education, we have the Public Affairs Committee. So this committee is responsible for spreading information by the youth and newsletters or other social media. We have the Research Committee, responsible for creating a database of information in the union interest. We have the Department of Agriculture. Under that we have the Home Garden Committee, responsible for research information to demonstrate creating a garden and conducting community outreach activities. And lastly, under the Labor Department, we have the Bargaining Unit Committee, and that's responsible for negotiating better working conditions, fair wages, and other areas in which the group and employees in need for representation. And then the Skills Committee is responsible for identifying skilled individuals or groups to conduct workshops.
So Tarik, right now, are you looking for any new members to come in to hold any of those positions?
Hello?
Yeah, are you looking for any members to come in to hold any of those positions, or those positions are already filled?
You know, I try really hard, but I can't hear you too well.
Maybe if okay. So what he is asking is if any of these committees are filled right now. Are we looking for members to fill those committees?
Oh, we are looking for members to fill those committees. So this is a way for anybody who really wants to be interested, who wants to be a part of the union, for them to, provide a skill or really help out in a different way than just being a part of a union.
Right.
So being an active member in the union.
I think ever so often you hear people saying that we need to organize, we need to come together. This is the opportunity to do so. I think for too long we have depended on a government to do things for us. And by depending on the government, you don't believe in yourself and do the things necessary to work for you as a people. And it's time for us to start doing for ourselves. For us to say that the government don't grow food, yeah, that's a fair statement. But you know how many people that don't live on this island and just have land sitting dormant? The union is willing to put that land to work for the individual who is in America just paying taxes on a piece of property and not doing anything. That's an opportunity to create jobs.
Right.
No, I'm not going to sit here and act as though the union has all the solutions. But there are people out there in the community who has some great ideas and been carrying these ideas for years. This is the opportunity to implement those ideas in the best interest of the community. The government don't do this and the government don't do that. But what are we doing? You know, it is the opportunity for you to take just a little bit of your money and put it into your community. It's not about the individual that put the union together. The fact is that if you really take into consideration that in the Virgin Islands you are seeing more dead people in the street than you're seeing dead animals. That's what we have become, and it is obvious that the people in charge don't know what to do. And I am saying that we as a people collectively, we have the solutions. And as individuals, we could come together and solve some of our problems.
That's basically just like what you were talking about earlier before we started about the self-government. The people need to, in the aspect of self-government, think on the terms of self-government now, because we have been eluded for the longest while trying to do something that ain't been working. So let me try something different and see if that works.
I think too often when we think about self-government, we think about this big tree. But for where we are at now, I think it is only fair that we see self-government as a seed. And when you're going to grow a seed, you must first cultivate the soil, prepare it properly.
Right.
Then you have to nurture it, you have to fight off the bugs. I think self-government is basically the same thing. Self-government is not something that we're going to wake up a year from now and we're going to be governing ourselves. I think it is time for us to approach self-government as though we're actually planting a seed, because that is what it is. To speak about self-government and not addressing agriculture or creating a labor force or working on education really makes no sense, because the pillar of a society lies on education, it lies on agriculture, and also a strong labor force. And that is, those three areas that I just mentioned, those are the weakest areas in our government. And for us to start speaking about self-government, I think we need to start first speaking about how are we going to grow food. We can't grow food if we don't start collecting water. For the past couple of weeks, you've been seeing it raining and the water been flowing right back into the ocean. Now we have technology where we could convert salt water into fresh water to wet our plants, or we could start creating catchments. And self-government is going to begin with a discussion. You know, it's not something that we're going to wake up overnight and it's going to happen. And I think that if the union guides the people towards self-government, the more the people collectively come together and financially come together, I think that would force the government to pay attention and assist in self-government. Right now, the government blatantly refuses to participate or put any money into self-government. This is why you will find the Department of Interior is actually right now giving us money to work towards self-government, but I think it is oxymoron to ask the same people who enslave you to help you to free yourself. If self-government must take place, it must take place where collectively the people are participating in it.
But do you think the people them now, right now, are ready to do that? Do you think that's their mindset? They want to go that route?
Well, as I stated earlier, self-government would begin by cultivating the soil. And so far, no one has cultivated the soil. So to say that we're ready to grow seed when no one has taken the time to prepare the soil, I think, again, no, we're not. But the more we educate the people and who really don't want to be free. You show me a human being who is in their right mind. No, I said in their right mind. That don't want to be free. And it seems to be difficult, but if we really look at it, in 1915 you had a group of people already purchasing over 4,000 acres of land. You had a group of people who had 6,000 people in a union. That same group of people, in 1915, they had their own banks. They were able to sell lands to the members. And if in 1915 we could have done that, why is it so impossible for us to do it now? It's not something that's just going to happen. But the more we educate the people, the more we show them through simple gardening, not no large commercial gardening. I think it's going to take real baby steps for us to work towards self-government. But we're going to need a group of people in place to explain to the people exactly what is self-government.
Let me ask you guys a quick question here. One of the things I see on the list here is that says to secure legislation in the interest of the members. So when you say secure legislation, are you guys going to come up with a concept or an idea and take that to one of the members of the legislature, and hopefully this person will sort of agree or come along with you and try to push this and make this a law or something? Is that the concept behind that statement?
I think that, again, because of the stage of our mind as a people, that is really how the function of the legislature it happens. An individual will come up with an idea and draft a piece of legislation and take it to somebody within the legislature. And I think the key to pushing legislation is, if you have a big, let's say we can get the membership to 10,000, 11,000 people. Any piece of legislation that is written by a union with that much members, and I'm speaking about a union in the best interest of the people, you would find a senator to want to, because not only you have 10,000 people, but you have 10,000 people collecting their dues and putting it to work to them. So it's not only the strength of the members as a group, but it's also collectively their finances. Politicians don't respect people. Politicians respect people with money.
Money, that's right.
And it's a sad thing to say, but it's real.
It's real. Yes.
And if we're going to play the game, we have to abide by the rules. And no money, no attention.
Okay, and that's what the union's all about. Just everybody coming together with their monthly dues and having a pot and saying, here, we have some money, let's affect some legislation.
That's basically, it's not a difficult concept, It's not a difficult concept, and I use this example, and I will use it again. If we decided that we wanted to play basketball, but we didn't have a basketball, and someone had a basketball to sell for $20, but each of us only had $5. If we put our $5 together we would be able to play basketball because 5 4 is 20. We'd be able to purchase the basketball. All it needs among us is one selfish individual who wants to play ball but don't want to spend the $5, and we'll never play basketball.
Right.
And that's where we are in our life right now. People want to be happy, but they don't want to put their money towards their happiness. And I think that is what the union collectively is going to attempt to do.
Well, maybe because I can be an advocate on the other side. You know, people have seen that unions have been around and for all these years and years, and nothing. There hasn't been nothing progressive to be done. Nothing come out of it. So, do you think there's a kind of apprehension in the individuals to really say they want to see this thing? They really want to partake in it, but at the same token, they have not seen no evidence of any fruitful. Because how long has it been since the original union for David Hamilton been in progress? How long have that union been established and been functioning? Have we got a date on it?
1915 is actually
the start date.
Yeah, it's actually 1915.
How long it went on to in the 60s, 70s?
To be honest with you, in our minds, the Hamilton-Jackson Labor Union is dissolved. But when you hear St. Croix Labor Union, Mutual Homes, I mean, that's a whole different topic. We in our minds, the union is dissolved.
Right.
But when you hear Mutual Homes, but that's not the proper name for Mutual Homes. The proper name for Mutual Homes is St. Croix Labor Union. Because if you have assets, you need the assets, and you have to have some type of name. So what they did is to hold and hide all the assets. They kept Mutual Homes, and I mean, it's a whole, and I'm only saying what I'm saying because I want you to realize that you asked a question, when was the last of it? And there's no such thing as the last of St. Croix, but as we speak, it exists.
Still it exists, exactly.
It exists.
So what I'm trying to get at is that because now is in such, I guess, in such hiding, or they're trying to hide amass the money, whatever the case may be. People are going to be kind of apprehensive in going forward to do something else other than the St. Croix Labor Union. So we're going to stand no different now from now and then.
The difference between this labor union and any other labor union is that with the labor unions of the past, they have no intention of educating the members, because as long as you don't educate people, you can abuse them and keep them ignorant. And this union intends to educate the members. And it is funny that you would say that people have seen the destruction of labor union. People have been voting from 1970, and they have not seen any good out of it. And this coming election, they're going to vote again.
The same thing.
So,
it was about the 32nd legislature?
Yeah, I think it's the 32nd.
So 32 by 2 is 60-something years. So they're trying to do this thing.
And my point is that they're going to do it
over again. Exactly.
Because, again, we don't operate by thinking for ourselves. If they say that that is what we need to do, that is what we're going to do. But right now in the Democratic Party, I think it's either 29 or 23,000 Democrats. If you could get 29 or 23,000 Democrats to join this union, I can guarantee you that our youths are going to stop dying foolishly in the street. Because this is what we don't do. When we do come together, it is because somebody said to us that, okay, you got to become a Democrat. That's the best thing. But for all the years, and I'm not being political, I'm being real, and I'm trying to get a point across. For all the years of people being Democrat, all that we can see right now is the death and destruction of our economy, our community, our children. You know, and we can't keep doing the same thing. and expect changes, at some point we're going to have to move away from the specific training that we have attached ourselves to. You know, and this is what's going to make this union different, because we intend to show people not what we can do for them, but what they can do for themselves. You know, anybody who is telling a group of people that I gonna do this for you and that person is a lunatic. You know, it's not about what the union can do. All the union can really do is educate and try to bring the people together to show them what they can do for themselves. And that's the basic difference between this union and all the other unions of the past.
What have you guys been doing to get the word out about this union? Have you guys been on like other radio shows, doing open forums and meetings at UVI and that kind of stuff?
Well, so far we have been on a couple, well, we did go on one talk show, radio talk show, and we do have our email address, and I'll share it with you. So in that sense, that if people need further information, they can communicate to us. September, in the month of September, will be our regular meeting, and that will be announced shortly as far as the date and time. In that way, people can learn more about us by actually coming to the meetings.
Right.
Our Facebook page will be completed shortly, so that people can learn more about the union. So that's things that's going to be happening shortly. And one way that it will show that this is a different union is that we'll be visible, meaning community will know that a union exists.
Right.
And they will see a difference in that by itself. And as Tarik had mentioned earlier about the different committees, I want to emphasize that, for example, the research committee, you may be a person who loves reading books or doing research, and you know your talent, your skill could actually be helpful in this union. So that's one way you could feel a connection there. For the home gardening committee, also, you know, you may be a farmer and you just love teaching people how to grow food. So being part of the home gardening committee will definitely help to help you shine with your talent, and at the same time teach others to learn how to garden. So again, this is ways that the union will be coming out, and with the involvement of the members, definitely we'll be able to do all that we said that we would like to accomplish.
You guys going to be able to go into like government agencies and make a presentation to them as well, or is this just for the non-government?
The one thing with government is that as long as a government has a bargaining unit in place, you know, there are certain laws that we have to abide by as a union.
Right.
It is only the unions whose contract has expired that we can do any type of talking to.
Okay.
You know, and I think that we need to let people understand that because you are in one union with the government, that does not mean that you cannot join this union.
That's a good point, Frida. It's just that point, because I was just thinking the same thing too.
No, and if let me use you for an example, Sue. They are telling you that you can't be a part of a union because you are part of management. No, and that makes sense, because if you and I are in the same union and you are my boss, you are my supervisor, and I do something that's wrong, we are in the same union, but you are going to be the one that's going to write me up. So that's really a conflict of interest. That's why management always have their union by themselves,
right.
and the employees are in a different union.
Right.
But that really, whether you're in management, whether you're in AFT, SIU, it makes no difference. If you choose to want to do something for the Virgin Islands, both federal and local law states that you have the right to join any union. You're saying what? And this is what I mean when I say that we're going to educate you, because most people don't know what I'm saying is the truth.
Right.
If as long as you are in a union and the union is affiliated AFL-CIO, but we have no affiliation with anyone.
Right.
So if you choose to join this union for the best interest of the people of the Virgin Islands, you have the right to do so. I think the saddest thing about labor union here in the Virgin Islands is that most people who work in a union, who are part of a union, let's say they work in a particular area in government for 30 years and that union collected their dues for 30 years and now it's time for that individual to retire. It is almost like going into a grocery store and paying for groceries, but when you come out you don't have any groceries. And that really makes no sense. You know, here it is, you're putting your money into something, and now that you have retired, you have put 30 years of dues into this thing, and now you have no means of collecting anything from it. And that is unfair, because when you work for your money upon your retirement, your money should be able to work for you. You know, I think to have a retirement system that is actually owned and controlled by a labor union, I think the members will benefit a lot more. You know, you have GRS and they are investing in everything except the people's business.
Right.
You know, and what really takes place here in the Virgin Islands is only because the members are not knowledgeable enough of their rights. You know, if you work for money all your life, 30 years in one union, and then you retire, where is that money? Where is it? You know, we're not speaking about one or two people. We're speaking about thousands of employees over a 50-year period, putting monies into something that it just disappears. And it's time we stop doing it. And the only how it's going to stop is when we educate the members and bring to their attention that you keep saying that you don't have any money. You keep saying that the government is not paying you enough. If we take our own monies and we create a grocery store, the grocery store wouldn't be for profit. It would be to meet the needs of the members. And this is when you can control cost of living. If you're growing your own food and selling your own food in your own grocery store, that's when you have an opportunity to control cost of living. But when your tomato has to catch a ride with a ship in a trailer every month, then you have to pay the person who grew it, the person who picked it, the person who shipped it, the person who kept it cool.
Yep.
By the time your tomato get to you, it's tired, and that's why the tomatoes fall apart. When you put them in the refrigerator, it's watery and it's no good. If you grow your own food, you eat healthier food, you control cost of living, and you could do that by putting your monies to work for you.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you guys a question. You said Caribbean. So is this for the entire Caribbean to join, or this is just for the Virgin Islands?
Well, the unique thing I would say is that we are part of the Caribbean. Some people don't see themselves as the Virgin Islands being part of the Caribbean, but we are truly part of the Caribbean. And we may have relatives that are living in different islands within the Caribbean. So it's a connection with our Caribbean people. So it doesn't matter if you live here in the Virgin Islands, you could live abroad and still be a part of this union.
Okay. Okay.
Tarik, you still on the phone?
Yeah.
Anything you want to input?
No, I think Peter and Shalima said really everything. I don't have much more to say.
Okay, good. You just holding your end and that end up there, right?
Say again?
You just holding your end and that end up there.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Stand firm.
Now, the lovely thing about having Tarik as a part of the union, I mean, first and foremost, that is my son.
Yes, I.
And it really feels good to have a young person, in the forefront, and honestly, over the past couple months since he came involved, I have seen where, because of his access and his ability to use the modern day, whether it be the computer or whatever, he is more aggressive than I am. He's working on an agriculture program for the union, which I am really having fun listening to what he's doing. And he's also in a position where he can find things that, and I will give an example. Let's say, as far as things for school, if we want to order something in bulk, because he is where he is,
Right.
he has the access to it. And again, because he has his master's in studying people's mind, it makes it more easier for us to sit and have a discussion as to where we need to go, or if we decided that we wanted to do something that needed a survey, we have him on hand that he could put that together. So having Tarik there is really a blessing, for a young person like
Yes,
that
sir.
to actually be a part of putting a labor union together. And it's really fitting to say that on his mother's side of the family, he's actually related to D. Hamilton Jackson. I hope he don't get angry because I'm letting his business out. But that's
Sorry, Tarik.
that's really a good thing. Tarik, you saying something?
No, I said that's it.
And I think it's really a joy, because most of the time when we speak about organizing something, we speak about older people. But right now, for the past couple administrations, the government, the governor has been borrowing money. This is a debt that's going to fall on Tarik and his children.
Yes.
So I think it is time that we start getting the younger people to understand
Totally.
that we are really messing their lives up. And unless we start figuring out a way how to create new monies without borrowing, you can't continue to borrow monies to pay payroll when you have land sitting dormant.
Idle, dormant, exactly.
If you can pick a crop like passion fruit, what would happen if you were to grow 10 acres of passion fruit? Who would pick them? Who would transport them? You would create jobs.
Exactly.
You would have to make people to make passion fruit juice or passion fruit jam or passion fruit ice cream.
And all of
So
these things,
whatever the case is, just by doing something as simple, and I've only named one crop.
One crop.
Tomorrow, God knows how much people is going to eat lettuce and tomato. But 100% of the lettuce and tomato tomorrow, 195, 80% is going to come from the States. So why can't we grow lettuce and tomato? Every 2 to 3 days you have bread coming from Puerto Rico. Can we bake bread and slice it ourselves?
Right here? Yes, sir.
It's time for us to start thinking on how we can build this economy for ourselves. And I think it's the union's position that as long as the minds of the people is developed, is nurtured, and really taken care of, I think it's going to blossom into something. I think what is preventing the minds of the people from growing is the lack of education, whether it be from the government itself or from the labor unions. I think as long as we keep moving towards educating people and showing them that their thoughts are no different from a seed. If you keep a seed in your pocket, it's not going to grow. But if you nurture the soil and plant it, and
Yeah.
That's what we need to do.
Well, Philae, you said it perfectly well, and I think that in any movement, in any grassroots movement, any positive movement that made a change on society in the world, it didn't take 100 people, it didn't take 50 people, it just took a collective few of the same serious-minded individuals that had the same idea, had the same thoughts and belief, and move forward with our project. So I think as long as the items stay on it and keep doing what you are doing, people gonna come on board. You understand me? People gonna come on board. So at first, we know anything we're doing, the longest mile, the longest journey begins with what our first step we're taking. So I think this is the first step we're on, and if we keep beating that path, keep beating on that door, every opportunity, every chance I get, to just keep drumming it in the ears and let them know this is what we need to do. You know, I think it will work.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. As you guys have created, just a question, I'm not sure, just a question, just a general question. So you guys created this union. Do you have to get any kind of buy-in from the government to do this? Or this is just a completely separate entity that you guys, or a structure or sort of a business that you guys have put together?
Okay, well, we had to get incorporated, and that's through the government.
Okay, so there is some involvement. Okay.
Right, so it is incorporated.
Okay. Phila, you mentioned too that Tarik is working on an agricultural plan. Is that something that you can talk about?
Limited.
Yeah.
Big. Tarik, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I could talk about it.
Okay.
Well, right now I'm working with somebody from Milwaukee on a community garden project. We have the basic foundation of the proposal in order. We just have to finalize a few things. She actually helped establish a program in Milwaukee, and it helped to provide food for a large portion of the community. And I think that's really that's the basic gist of it. Just being able to provide food for a community. Right now it would be a pilot project to see how well and what we could do, what things that we could improve on for the major part, and then my overall hope first would be to have a community garden in each community throughout the territory. So instead of having to spend a lot of money to go and buy food from somewhere else, you have your food right there in your community. However, it is you save, you have to go to something else that you need. Just like Rafael was talking about with controlling your cost of living.
Got you.
So is that coming soon, or you still got to wait for some approvals and that kind of stuff?
I'm sorry, say again?
Is that coming soon? Is the plan coming soon, or is that?
Oh, yeah.
It's coming soon. Okay.
Yeah, I actually meeting at the end of this week to finalize a few things. I have a workshop that's supposed to attend about community gardening and eventually how to establish an aquaponic system. So as soon as I can get a few of those things in order, that project should be around soon.
Okay. And so you would what, bring equipment here and start the plan here?
Say again?
You once everything is finalized and approved, then you would come to St. Croix and start the plan here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good, man. It sounds like a move in the right direction.
Well, one of the things I would like to emphasize on is that, ever so often we speak about slavery, but we never pay attention on the damage that slavery has really done to us. And most of us, when we think about agriculture, we think about a hoe and a pickaxe, because a lot of times when you see movies related to slavery, if the person ain't getting beat, they're out in the garden working. So when we think about agriculture, we associate it with slavery. And that's one of the things that we have to work on the minds of our people. Agriculture has gone to the point where you can actually sit in a machine and reap the things you have to reap. And the machine is normally air conditioned. So the mindset that we have of agriculture, we need to change it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm agreeing that what Tarik is doing is very interesting, because I think if we start with small community gardens, yes, and we allow for the younger people to work in it, they're going to start realizing that, well, I could make money from these 200 tomato trees that I had so much tomatoes now. What would happen if I plant 1,000 tomato trees?
Yes.
I think if we start with small community gardens, we can work our young people minds back into agriculture on a large scale. So the community garden is just an excellent idea that I think the union is pushing, and I really want to tell Tarik how much I appreciate the fact that he is pushing and promoting the agriculture on his end to really make it become a reality.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, for sure, man. All right. Anything else you guys want to add to anything about the union?
Well, yes, let me just share our information.
Okay.
You can contact us at Umoja Caribbean Union at gmail.com. That's UMOJACARIBBEAN UNION at gmail.com. And then we do have a phone number. It's a temporary number until we get a permanent number.
Sure.
The area code number is 857-240-2854. Again, that's 857-240-2854.
Okay, and Facebook page is coming soon, right?
It's coming soon.
What website's coming soon too?
Hello?
I will say the Facebook is very soon.
Very soon. Okay. Okay.
Tarik, are you working on a
Yeah.
website or something for the union?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. The website is a work in progress, but actually a few minutes before the show started, I finished the Facebook page. I just have to import some of the information. But by the end of this week, if you search Umoja Caribbean Union on Facebook, you will find a Facebook page.
Okay.
So keep a look at that.
You see, that's what I am talking about. I couldn't do that
Yeah.
with his involvement in technology, and I am really grateful for what he's doing.
And let me add to that too. I'm sure there are others who are very skilled in social media or what have you, creating websites and graphics or what have you. You know, there's a place for you in Umoja Caribbean Union. Our acronym is UCU. So when you see something good that's happening in someone else, it's like you're seeing a reflection of you. So just keep that acronym in your mind when you think of Umoja Caribbean Union, UCU.
Yes,
So
sir.
you're welcome to join Umoja Caribbean Union.
For sure, for sure. I think this is a great project, a great step forward for the people I'm here in St. Croix in the Caribbean, especially here in St. Croix. St. Croix need a boost. We need something to uplift the people them to go forward and to come out of this old mindset, the same regular mindset, doing the same thing over and over and producing the same thing. So
Same thing gets the same results.
Results, exactly. It become insane.
Mm-hmm.
Become insane. That's what it is. You become insane. So, Pili, Shalima, and Tarik, y'all continue to do what y'all doing, and wish you much success and much blessings. You know.
Let me ask let me ask one other quick question here. So, the initial fee is $15, and then I see you have some percentages here: weekly gross pay, biweekly, and monthly. So, is this like automatic, like deducted from your paycheck, or this is what you could just come in and pay weekly?
Well, if you are part of the union's bargaining unit, then it will be deducted from your pay.
Okay.
As a general member, you pay $3 a month.
Okay.
So you can do so by paying in person, and shortly we'll have our bank information available. You could deposit it at the bank. And I'll say the $3 is for those who are unemployed and receive unearned income such as retirement, pension, and other. And then the other category, as far as those who are general members, the dues is $5. So you will be if you are in a working class, and you are self-employed, part-time, or what have you, you pay $5 a month.
Not
All
bad.
right. Perfect.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, sounds very fair, man. All right, the Umoja Caribbean Union.
So basically, Basically, again, you just want people to know that you want to empower them. That's basically the bottom line to the bottom
That's
line.
basically it, you know. That's
Yes, sir.
basically it. If we would stop to take into consideration if UCU was created 50 years ago and all the dues that has been sent to America was actually here on the island.
Right.
I don't know if people realize that that would be close to $1 billion or $1 billion plus. If we really look at what leaves and what have been leaving
Right.
over a 50-year period, the pain and suffering that we are feeling, we are actually inflicting it on ourselves. You know, it's like we're pinching ourselves and telling somebody else to stop. You know, and it could stop, it could go away, but we have to put our monies to work for us. And we have some excellent thinkers in the Caribbean. We have some excellent people. We have excellent thinkers here. We have excellent thinkers in America and all over the world. And if you really care about the direction of the Virgin Islands, it's an opportunity for you to put your money where your mouth is and really make a difference. If not now, when?
Yes, sir.
Well said, Feli. All right, we want to thank our guests tonight, Shalima Edwards, Feli, and on the phone is Tarik. I want to thank you guys for coming out and sharing about this new union that you guys have put together.
And don't be afraid to use our platform, to use it to it's your perspective. We want to reach out anything to the world, to the community, wherever you want to do. Just I know how to reach we. We are open to y'all anytime. Okay? This is something empowering to the people. So
Thank you.
Soup, any final words?
Jah guide and protect the item. Shalima, thank you. Feli, Tarik, continue to do what y'all doing. Jah guide, one perfect love.
Yeah, we like to say one perfect love is our prayers and his blessings. When you put it all together, you get one perfect love, man. So on that note, we're out. I want to thank you guys for coming in. And on the phone is Tarik. And we have a show tomorrow night, so tune in again on streaming live on the VI.com website. Check out streaming live from the VI.com radio, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week music. Download the app from iOS or Google Play. On that note, we're out. Peace. Later.
Oh, please listen to me. I see them coming, but please stop them for me.